The delicious strawberry. When I was a kid, I commonly read comic books. Usually superhero stuff, but weird stories too. One of the many cool things about those comics was the pages of advertisements they included at the end of the book, usually for stuff like ordering a sea monkey kit or buying X-ray vision glasses. But one time, I read an issue, Spectacular Spider-Man I think, and I found something different in the back. A note from the artist, which said, "This is my favorite Zen story," and then it had the following. A man was being chased by a ferocious lion. As he ran, he reached a cliff where he used a wild vine to start climbing down its face. But as he worked his way down the cliff, he suddenly noticed an equally ferocious lion waiting at the bottom of the cliff for him. He stopped climbing, but then noticed a mouse chewing away at the vine above him. At just that moment, he noticed a beautiful strawberry just within his reach. So he reached out, plucked it, popped it into his mouth, and proclaimed, how delicious." That's it. I don't remember what I thought about it at the time, except to think that it was a little strange. But about 20 years later, I found myself in an extremely stressful work situation. I remember I was at this one point where I was mentally processing the stress, wondering what might have happened in the past to cause the situation, wondering how the problem would affect the future. And as I thought about this, the strange little story from the comic book instantly popped into my mind, along with a clear and immediate sense of the meaning. So, spoiler alert. I immediately knew that the tigers represented fears about the past and the future, and that the whole story was, in a sense, about stress, and about how it can be transformed by becoming present. The man was experiencing severe stress in the past, the first line, and the future, the second, and he had pressure in the moment, the mouse, chewing on the vine. Recognizing his inability to change this, he focused his attention on the joy still presently available to his grasp. And in that moment, free of fear from what will happen, he was able to say to life, how delicious. And in this sense, the little story seems to exemplify the deepest meaning of what a Japanese koan is, not only in form but also in function. The symbology of the story worked itself into my subconscious and eventually triggered the relevant insight for processing fear and anxiety. And finally, what it implies is that we have learned or can learn by being exposed to information years before we are able to understand it. As if I had a form of wisdom seeded in me as a comic book reading child, which was suddenly illuminated years later when my subconscious mind recognized the need for it. How delicious.